Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the, I'm pretty sure it's 173rd episode of the GeekVerse podcast. My name is... I'm Travis now.
Was that little grunt, was that intentional? Was that...
Travis now.
That was the nickname?
Yeah, that's it.
Tastes like some spicy wings. I am the Nightfly Dylan Muss.
The Nightfly?
Nightfly.
Is there? I don't get it.
It's an album.
Okay.
One of the greatest albums of all time, I might add. Everyone should listen to it.
Boom.
Came out in 1982. But it's still really good.
That doesn't mean it's bad.
No.
You know?
I'm just saying that it's not current.
You know, like
it's current to me, but to very little other people.
I don't even know who the band is that made this album, so...
I came out in 1993 and I'm still cool, so, you know, things only get better with age.
Ew.
Except for knees.
And tips.
I thought you said tips. I'm like, well, maybe old people don't tip as well as they used to. I don't know.
That's actually true. I've worked in restaurants and they do not.
Really?
I am the girl who wants to go to bed already. Jessica.
Really? Wow. Why? What happened?
Just a long day?
Yeah, I do homework all day, every day.
I've had a long day as well.
Well, thanks for being here, because various other people aren't.
Yeah, we had a lot of cancellations and a lot of...
And you know, Briggs is just like, I got stuff that I've been putting off and I gotta do. It's like, okay, man.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And then Kyle's getting a root canal right now.
That one's okay. I can accept that one.
He went out expecting to get his wisdom teeth pulled, and currently he's getting a root canal.
And they're like, we got some other news
What
for you,
happened
my
to Taylor?
friend. No one knows.
No,
Taylor's an enigma. When I don't see him, I don't even know if he exists.
I will legitimately say, so like, here's the explanation for this cast. I think it's going to be like a shorter cast. This is going to be a throwback to like old school GeekVerse. Yeah. We're combining the news this week because honestly there's not that much news. We literally just watched 50 minutes of trailers that we maybe would only talk about 2 of them, but we watched them because, you know, we want to put a weekly episode for you, our fans, but this is super loosey-goosey. We might go on some different tangents. And here's another thing, and here's some shots of Taylor if you're listening, even if Taylor's girlfriend's listening. I do not like Taylor that is not single. You know why? Because when he's single, he's here, he's doing all this stuff, he's working 24/7, but when he gets a girlfriend, it's up in the sky. He's so busy. What's he busy doing? Doing fucking face mask shit. Remember he canceled a movie on you? It's always something. It's like, oh, I'm good to go, and then no, I can't do it.
But he also like Facebook or Instagram. And there's like 20 pictures.
You guys want to see my run or not? Where are you?
And the thing is, like, it's he never really he doesn't have the heart to just say no or like I can't do it, right? So he's like, I'll try and make it happen. Like I'll let you know. And that's the last you hear from him.
Kirkland's at a hockey game tonight. Do you think that's the truth?
Ooh, that's risky. That's like a 50-50.
At hockey?
That's like a clean 50-50.
You can on the Switch.
Oh, there you go.
I'm like on the Switch.
Yeah, so we've always joked about like having an After 9 podcast one day. At one point we will, but I think this is gonna be your like little preview that we're just gonna we're gonna talk.
You know, for the newer fans, this is kind of what it was like back in the day. We kind of had things to talk about, but mostly we just sat down and didn't really have any planning.
Yeah, just went for it.
Which I'll find out because one fan's gonna
Those
love
were good
this.
days, you know. We didn't have a camera, so I was just rocking PJs, you know. I was big chillin'.
I do miss that sometimes. The camera definitely helps, to be honest, for like YouTube views and growth. But like I do miss, like, I don't have hair right now, but back in the day. So just
you were really obsessed with your hair.
Yeah,
too.
so that's a problem. So the person that's not gonna like this podcast was Kyla Watts, who gave us a great review on podcast a couple weeks ago. The title, Just Cheap. I don't even know what that means. We're a free podcast, so that's fine. Feels like they have no real plan nor real effort. I'll say we have real effort because we just watched a bunch of fucking trailers. We took our free time. We ended up being here. No real plan today. Yeah, no real plan. But guess what? We've never said we had a plan. Our plan is the podcast like motto is. It's like we have a microphone in front of friends. How do you plan that out? Just a blah. In quotations, nerd culture podcast.
Right.
It's geek culture, by the way.
I take that as a compliment, actually.
That just gets churred out with minimal effort possible.
Well, what else are we supposed to do? Like, am I supposed to dance in front of the microphone while we record?
We've been figured out, you know. I think that's exactly what our podcast is, and we should just throw in the towel.
It's that average 2-star rating anyway, so you know.
Wait, that was a 2-star?
No, that was 1 star.
We have average.
I was wondering. I want to know where that second star comes from.
Out of 35 reviews on Podbay, we're average 2 rating. iTunes were like
we're not looking good on Podbay.
No.
If I ever want to feel sad, I just cruise over to Podbay and look at people trash talking me and what I work hard on.
You saw the Tyler one, right? Did you see that one?
I don't think
Okay,
so.
so this was because I'm pretty sure he didn't like whatever. I don't know, but this was by Penizer 2820 seems like a podcast where they just want to shit on every movie because they seem to feel like they are Ebert and want to be the best. Ebert was a very popular movie critic back in the day. You were doing comic book movies, go in it with that mindset. And then he put, and Tyler is pretty bad. He just
that's pretty funny. Like, that just makes me laugh. I feel like we're very positive on a lot of things. I don't even really understand that one.
This, I remember now. This is November 17th. That's the day after our Justice League review. So somebody...
The DC
Just that classic line, too. You're doing a comic book movie review, going with that mindset.
No, you don't have to. That's the thing. You shouldn't have to.
And I mean, I'm not going to... I don't know. We just go into things, you know, as neutral as possible. See where the movie takes us. You know, if it's a shit movie... Sorry, DC, but, you know, step it up.
Well, you know, it might not be a shit movie. Incredibles 2.
Oh.
But I think it might be a shit movie.
You think it will be?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I'm throwing my case out here because, one, that's the main topic of, that's the title of this podcast.
There was a new trailer that popped out.
There's not much news.
The first official trailer, really.
So I have 3 Travis's Told You So this year. Black Panther.
This one's a big one.
Black Panther, I am 100% top 5 opening. The biggest Monday in box office history. Monday. A single day, biggest day ever. Bigger than Star Wars. So I did that. It's the best reviewed movie on Rotten Tomatoes right now. So that's one off the list.
Wasn't it one of the best for like all Marvel superhero movies?
It's the best, well, it's the best reviewed superhero movie. And then money-wise, it's the best solo movie ever. The only movie that's bigger than that right now is the original Avengers. And that was only by 15 million, so
that's
a pretty small gap. So Travis was right there. The second one is Tomb Raider. It's going to be the first positively reviewed comic book movie. That's my one. My third one is Incredibles 2 is still going to be good, but it's going to be Finding Dory, where it's the same thing over. It's fine. But, like, the way this trailer is with the whole, like, oh, there's a rich mogul who, like, oh, bringing Mr. Elastic into this. And then you have, like, Mr. Incredible, like, as her in the home again, and then you have the kid. The kids is different, so we'll see how that goes. But I just feel like I'm getting very similar vibes already. Every time I get a new trailer, I'm like, this is the same thing. And I still wish time travel. The best thing is Jack Jack. They're gonna sell so much Jack Jack toys.
They will.
He looks cute, like that little like baby slap thing when he does. Perfect. Babies do that a lot, you know. So I don't know. I just feel like we're gonna review it. We're gonna watch it. I know you're very pumped because of how the trailer starts.
I'm pumped, but honestly, that trailer does worry me a bit.
See?
Because this one I have a lot on the line. You know, Finding Nemo, also one of my favorites back when I was younger. But Finding Dory, it didn't really burn that bad. I didn't like the movie, but it didn't really hurt me that much. But Incredibles, man, like when we did our top 10 movies of all time, Incredibles is in there. I love that movie so much. So this one I have a pretty big emotional attachment to, and I don't know. I'm kind of curious. Like, Elastigirl's supposed to be the main superhero in this movie. But really, all she does in this trailer is drive around on her bike. So I'm curious if they're holding out on us and there is something. And I think, now that I've thought about it more, I did want to see what happens in the Underminer, and it's cool that they're going to do that in this movie. But I think it maybe would have been best if that's like the opening segment of the movie, and then you go 15 years later, and then you start the story from there. Because you're right, it does look very samey to the first one.
I think Mr. Incredible looks like he's the main character, though, still. Because most of the trailer's about him and the baby.
Yeah.
So she's just off on the side.
That's not what I want, That's not what I want. He's a great character, but
that was the whole last
some superheroes, yeah. I don't know. I am a little bit worried from this trailer, to be honest. But it does... Obviously, they have a lot more to show. And I'm curious,
It's not until next July or something.
Really? Next year?
I thought it was
this year. I thought it was this year.
Or this July.
Yeah.
You really have me scratching my head there. Like,
2019.
We're getting some trailers early on here.
They're full of some Death Stranding stuff.
So I guess they'll definitely drop another trailer at some point, and I don't know, I'm excited to see what it is, but I am a little bit scared in my poor little heart. I need this movie to be good. But, I'm not gonna let my bias stop me. If it's a shit movie, I'm gonna have to shit on it, and that's gonna hurt really bad.
I don't think it's gonna be a shit movie. I really don't.
No,
Disney, unless your
their bottom line is quite higher than
unless your name is Maleficent or the last Pirates movie, Disney doesn't really make shit movies.
The last Pirates movie.
Yeah, I don't even know what it was called anymore. Dead Man Tell No Tales.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the one.
If Taylor was here, he wouldn't know.
Oh yeah, best movie. It's on. Go check out Golden Geeks. Jessica, what do you think? Because I actually not heard your thoughts about this all.
What's your opinion on the original? I can't remember.
The originals?
The original?
The originals is great. But the original Incredibles.
So, I am really excited for this. It's kind of the same boat. I don't know what it's going to be like, but I want it to be good. I don't know, I'm kind of debated on the fact that they're not kind of jumping time. Like, I think it will be interesting to kind of see them grow up, but I feel like it is the same movie. Like, they're the same age. You know, seeing Jack in, like, his teenage years after he's already developed his powers, like, that could have been pretty prime.
Mm-hmm. And he could still be, like, it could be ambiguous still. Like, his powers could still be, like, wild, and he can do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's all rebellious and, like, fucking around. So, you know, kind of the same boat. I'm going to go in, I'm going to see it, and if I'm disappointed, then, well, that fucking sucks.
It really will. I don't even think Violet was in that trailer. I just realized.
She's at the table and they're all having dinner.
She doesn't say anything though. Right?
No, that's about it. And
like, I guess she's supposed to be like moody and like broody and stuff, but you should still like say something.
Yeah, that sucks. She's still gonna be moody and broody though.
No, in the very end, she like put her hair up in a little clip and.
Yeah, I guess.
Are we gonna see that Violet? Who knows?
Yeah, and we have new voice actors because the kids are too old, so you know.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, because they can't. Those kids couldn't do Dash anymore, right?
I don't know.
A skilled voice actor could.
Okay, it's like
I guess you don't know at that young of age if they're really that good of an actor.
There's like a middle-aged woman that does Ash Ketchum, okay? It could have been anyone.
True. I think they were.
It's true. You know, there's also a woman who does Bart. You know?
And Naruto.
And there was a woman that did the original Slappy in Goosebumps. Fun fact.
I don't really know what that means.
Do you know who Slappy is? Yeah. I was shocked.
It's a voice that I would not think is a...
It's like the popular Goosebumps character. He's a human ventriloquist that comes to life to like taunt you. Yeah. Like, it's like Chucky but not radar, so instead of killing you, he'll like just fuck up your schoolwork and stuff like that. Like, it's really kid-oriented.
That's awesome.
Jack Black voiced him in Goosebumps.
Nice.
There you go. But wasn't Jack Black like...
But I thought you just said a woman voices Slappy.
No, he in the OG TV series. In the movie, Jack Black
they got Jack Black to do
very mediocre job.
Oh.
He just sound like Jack Black. He just come on.
I like the sound of Jack Black.
Well, you know who else I like the sound of? Dwayne Johnson, who was in Jumanji.
It's hard to tell with these trailers because we're not like really hyped on any of them, so you could go anywhere. I'm not sure.
Rampage. Another video game that's coming out this March, I found out as I was watching it, saying that. So, you know, I'm going to start. I liked this trailer better than the first one. There were some comedic moments in here, but they also showed me the entire movie. It starts with Dwayne as the trainer, the monkey gets big, they destroy the city, he convinces the monkey to turn teams, and the monkey helps him with the bad guys.
They pulled a DC.
Defeats the bad guys.
They did.
And then everyone's happy.
But almost the difference is the reason I'm happy with this trailer is because with Justice League and Wonder Woman, I'm planning on seeing these movies. I'm not planning on seeing this movie. So me seeing the whole movie, it's kind of like, well, I know what the movie is now. I don't need to see
I feel
this.
like that you could have predicted that though, right? Like that's where you start with a movie. That's your foundation, and then you build from there to make it, you know, actually stand out.
Yeah.
But this one, I don't really know what else they have hiding.
Probably not much.
Do you think there's another... they have like a giant wolf that can fly.
Yeah.
They have the crocodile, alligator, see in a while sort of thing. And then they have the gorilla.
See in a while? You're trying to make all these like...
But was there any more like characters?
That's what I'm wondering. Do you think
there was a bunch in
the
games? Like
there's like 30 in the GameCube version.
I think the movie will end with a cliffhanger of another one. I think that could be how the movie ends.
It's got to be the lizard guy, right? What's his name again? Ralph?
I don't know. I don't remember his name. I love the game, but I don't remember the name. But yeah, I think Randall's, that's from Monster Inc., and he's kind of a lizard.
Yes.
He's more lizard than
monster.
monster.
Ralph is definitely a character in the game. I remember that.
Okay, I'll look.
But that might be the pig character. I'm not sure. Do you think we'll see that one? Or do you think they're going all out? Because do you think they'll have another trailer? Probably not, right?
They'll have one more quick one, I bet.
Is March next month?
Yeah,
that is next month.
Yeah. It's legit like a month away.
Yeah. Maybe,
so I don't know if they'll have another trailer.
They'll have maybe one of those shorter ones. But yeah, Ralph, he was not the lizard. He looked like he was the wolf monster. So Ralph looks like he's...
Oh.
That looks like that's almost
so
a
Ralph
is in the Rampage movie. I guess so. Or like,
I don't remember him having those squirrel wings sort of thing.
That's new. That's new. 2018. Ralph is one of the monsters featured in the movie.
The lizard. I feel like the lizard's one of the classics. He's like one of the characters you start with Unlocked, you know, and he's supposed to be.
I think so.
Oh, so see, he's gonna. Oh, thank you.
But maybe the alligator is like.
He's gonna be a mutated wolf instead of a mutated human. So see, that's what they're doing. Instead of the humans becoming wolves, it's wolves becoming freaky monsters.
That's true.
Which I don't like.
So they're not really following the story of the games. You know, it was a really revolutionary story.
I want to know how this. I really want to know how this movie got made because I feel
they
like
got Dwayne to sign on, and they're like, okay, let's do it. We'll at least do enough in the box office.
It just feels like such a random game movie to pull off. Be like, we're gonna make a Rampage movie, and yeah.
It does because those games were just about destroying buildings.
Yeah.
Like that's essentially.
It's
the entire game. Like there wasn't really
Kong versus Godzilla, but video game version.
And before they're beating them to the punch too.
With characters that no one knows about.
And The Rock, so.
And it's got a wolf.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, it's cool because they already have the sequel too, a Skyscraper coming out.
Oh God.
Those movies could legitimately, like, I'm sure someone who, they'd all be the guy who edits those movies together into one cohesive story. Maybe it'll make it. Maybe if I shortened it and I combined them, I could make like a sick movie.
I think the San Andreas, Skyscraper, this, and Jumanji. There's all the way
Dwayne.
to put like the Dwayne.
Is he in San Andreas? He's in San Andreas.
Yeah, it's him, and he's like an earthquake like emergency caller. Have you seen this movie?
I started it and fell asleep.
At first, I thought you said he was an earthquake.
Well,
that's really cool. I gotta see this movie. That's revolutionary. Is he like just a voice, or like just like the mocap, where he like
he's circus it up. He has all these balls, and he's the earthquake. Well, Jessica, you slept through San Andreas. Are you gonna be sleeping through this movie?
I'm not even gonna see it to sleep through it.
Oh.
So.
And there was even like a Stranger movie that we watched in these bunch of trailers that you were like, I'll watch that on Netflix, but not even Rampage.
The basketball movie?
Yeah, I'll watch that. Uncle something or other.
Uncle Drew, we're gonna get down.
Is Rampage like a Netflix watch at least for you? I gotta see it.
I probably put it on Netflix, but it's one of those ones I put it on while I'm doing something.
Yeah, Netflix and fail is not a bad call. Yeah, I want to see it because you got The Rock. It's a video game movie, but it
feels very loosely like a video game movie.
Yeah.
Just the core not even.
I'm just like completely doing a shot in the dark here.
Shoot
on Andy Serkis. Have you guys watched The Ritual on Netflix?
I want to. I hear good things.
Is that like it's a Netflix original, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Andy Serkis is like the monster thing in it.
Is he actually?
I was like, I'm like Andy Serkis, what the hell? And then as soon as like there's this weird monster thing, and you're like, okay, well that's fucking Andy Serkis.
Oh.
It's like full on mocap and everything. Or is he like, is this face in there?
No, there's no face and there's no voice. So it has to be like...
So he's just, okay.
It's,
Well, I mean, Gollum, he did all that mocap for that. That's a great character.
So, okay, random.
No, did you like the movie?
It was
quick review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The movie itself wasn't bad. It's definitely kind of like, what the fuck is going on? And the ending...
Oh.
It's just...
Jumping into the ending on
well, no.
Everyone dies.
No, the ending you feel like it could have had more to it.
Yes.
But the ride to get there is fun.
How long is this movie?
It was only like an hour and a half, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard just good things. And I think I heard good things because Netflix movies aren't reviewed the most positive. Check out Cloverfield Paradox, which I liked, but
I watched that one.
Did you like it?
It wasn't the best Paradox movie. I'm super.
The best Paradox movie.
They made the Cloverfield movies, and now they made the Paradox movies.
Well, I like movies that have paradoxes in them.
Paradox.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. So.
Pterodactyls.
Pterodactyls. I didn't think you said that.
It's its own genre, okay?
Yeah. I'm sure it is.
You know what else has its own genre?
These transitions.
Robots fighting monsters.
Yes.
Robots.
Transformers
Power
movie.
Rangers too.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Power Rangers. It's on Netflix. Check it out. I have no Pacific Rim 2 Uprising. I have no interest in this movie. There will 100% be a review on our channel because I know Taylor's seen it. He loves doing those solo reviews of. I'll give him that. Of movies that no one wants to see in our podcast. He covers that. Yeah, he's producing content. Apparently, Ruben might join him. This movie just had action. It was just stuff moving around. It's exactly what I don't like about it's exactly what I don't like about Transformers. It's just it looks like no story. So I'm bound out. This is not even a Netflix watch for me. This is nothing.
Well, what did you think of this trailer then, as opposed to the first one? Or was it the exact same thing to you with like new shots that were all?
I think it's less because at least the first one they had like John Boyega, like he sees like a obituary of his dad, and it's like there's a bit more emotion to it. This was just full on like they got swords and there's monsters eating children and like I don't care. Like I've seen this all before.
There's a point in this trailer when they're like getting hyped up. They're like, "Oh man, you have to see this." It's like the new big, I guess, robot that wasn't there before. But it looked exactly like everything else, and it kind of just looked like one of the buildings, to be honest. So, they're getting really hyped, but I wasn't following along because it looked like I'd already seen this thing before.
It looked like Power Rangers directed by Michael Bay.
Yeah.
That pretty much sums it up in my mind.
Yeah.
Sure.
I will say I thought it was this movie, but I guess it was Rampage. That was the one. Was it the tagline was bigger, or bigger is better, or better? What would it
Big is getting bigger, or big, big. Watch out for.
Watch out for biggest.
It was It was the class. Yeah, it was something big and bigger. So,
The big gets bigger.
Yeah, something that you can easily remember, even though I didn't remember it.
No, yeah, it's not. It wasn't that easy to remember.
No. No, Pacific Rim. Yeah, as I don't know, I feel like pretty much the exact same way as you. It's just a bunch of action shots. Yeah. I don't really know any of these characters. I don't really know what the story is supposed to be.
They're back. The monsters are back.
The monsters are back, and they gotta fight them. That's that's not that interesting of a story.
No.
And that's probably all they got.
That's about the same as Rampage and a lot of other movies coming out, though.
It's true.
You know, it's hopefully not the same for Ready Player One.
Ready Player One.
Yeah. Just you want to start because you're the only person that have read the book, and I think every time we've talked about this movie, you're not on the podcast.
I have not been here to defend it.
Yeah. Defend it? Wow. I don't think we've crapped over the movie or anything.
We've crapped around it.
I've crapped around the marketing. That first trailer was fucking weird.
So.
You're a big fan of the book.
I really like the book. I actually think this is the first real trailer I watched. So I don't 100% know what exactly happened. I just heard people shit all over the first one. The book is really good, and people are complaining about all the references, but the book literally is just pop culture reference.
Yeah, that I don't get why people are complaining. I guess it's a shock for people that haven't read the book. Yeah.
That seems strange to me that people are shitting on that.
Yeah.
I think that's cool, if you see some Master Chief and Squad just popping around, that's cooler than just random Space Marines.
I guess I wasn't actually shitting on it, but for me it was, so far I had just seen nostalgia, and that was cool, but I hadn't had a reason to go see it. This trailer was actually, I liked the score. I think you weren't the biggest fan of whatever song they were.
I actually kind of liked it.
Yeah, it
was
turned
very
around.
strange and not what I would have predicted.
Yeah, so this one I liked seeing the story with the nostalgia. I felt like the first two trailers were just a lot of, here's Iron Giant, here's Deadpool, here's
It looked
Freddy.
like just a CGI fest, look at all these cool car chases and explosions.
Well, what that probably was is they probably tried to advertise it to the people that read it and were like, look we're including all this shit. And then everyone was like, what the fuck is going on? So we need to make something for everyone else.
So people know what.
Yeah.
The people who didn't read know the story. Yeah.
And plus, I still think it's good to have a story trailer out there, because I know I know that there's stuff about this key and they want to unlock something, but
there's
I don't think
some resistance army that's
I don't think the first few trailers really showed any of that off. It was just really cool action shots, and they just kept saying Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg is we know he's directing it. This is great, but
yeah, basically it's. So, that big trailer park that you see on all the stands, that's where everyone lives, and then they go into the Oasis, which is their virtual reality, and that's where pretty much everyone lives most of the time. They come out to eat and sleep and then go back in. And so...
One day.
Hopefully.
Well, it looked like in this trailer, there's a scene where there's a squad of people, 10, with their VR headset on, running down the street doing stuff. So what's that about? Because if you move in real life, does that affect how you would be in the VR world?
Or is that too much into spoiler town?
I'm down for some spoiler town.
Well, you can't just a movie coming out literally in a month. You're
I'm just curious. I'm curious.
I don't remember anything specifically about that off the top of my head. But they can kind of join in with each other in real life. They can join in together. They can be separate and join in together in the same spots.
It's like the Mega Man games back in the day.
Nostalgia. And then
I heard you say you solved it. I'm tired.
Yeah, that's it. It's Mega Man. You got it.
That's what's in the center. Whatever this key is, Mega Man.
That was a cool looking key.
Yeah, they have multiple keys going on too.
I only saw.
Or is it just one key?
No, it's there's a quest, and you have to solve all the different puzzles to get to the end.
Because the keys were different colors. That's how I'm there's more than one key.
So what is this resistance that they're forming? What are they resisting against? Aren't they
the man?
So they're trying to get keys to solve puzzles and progress.
To get
then what are they resisting? Is it the corporation that runs this thing is highly sus for some reason?
Of course, they're always highly sus. When is a corporation in a movie a good guy?
I don't know.
Even S.H.I.E.L.D. turned out fucking Nazis are behind. Nobody's safe,
Yeah, it's. I think they're also trying to like get the main prize of. It's like the guy that created this. When he died, he left this like Easter egg thing in the game, so they're trying to get it too.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't 100% remember. I did read this a couple years ago, back in the Target days.
Back in the Target days.
Target Canada, by the way.
Yeah,
Target America is still
which
going
no longer
strong.
exists. So.
It does not.
Because we were podcasting in the back instead of actually doing work, and it had to close down.
I was not. I wasn't including these podcasts apparently.
We started like right after it closed. We're like, we need a reason to still hang out.
Exactly.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll like do a quick read again before we go see it, so that way I know it's going down. But
yeah, I'm kind of curious about this movie now.
Yeah, I actually wasn't planning on seeing it before this trailer. So this trailer, I think, did its job. I'm more inclined to see next, especially March. I don't think there's too much coming on. I'm not seeing Pacific Rim 2, so I definitely have a spare 13.
Rampage. I mean, there's a lot of movies that you're skipping
Is
out.
that literally, like, okay, so Rampage was for sure March, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was Pacific, and that was, right? Pacific Rim 2?
Pretty much, all those trailers that we watched were like second trailers or third trailers.
March, yeah. For Pacific Rim 2 was March 22nd.
Isn't Rampage like at the start of March?
And then...
March 29th is like right before the long
No, Rampage is April.
Yeah.
Rampage is April, so there's some space.
Oh, okay.
Good, because I'm like, I don't know if you can put Rampage and that out and Pacific Rim in the same month. That seems like too, like, you're going to pick one destruction movie or the other, you know? And everyone's going to pick the one with The Rock.
Hurricane Heist, that's the one I'm picking.
We watched 10 seconds of Hurricane Heist. No idea, but...
I would describe it as this year's Geostorm.
Yeah, it looks like...
So if you're into Geostorm, you're going to love this.
It looks like either of these people can cause hurricanes and do heists, or they do heists when hurricanes happen, which makes sense, but dangerous.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Except for the high risk of life.
And you're pretty much just waiting until there's a hurricane.
Yeah. So they're
it's
going
really
to
not the best idea.
Big jumps.
It's something that you have to do on the side. It's like if you're a general heister, you know, you're usually pulling off crimes, robbing banks and stuff.
Yeah.
Then you maybe also are like ready for when hurricanes hit, but you should probably have something more like stable.
Yeah. You know, it's not stable. Where those people live, in a quiet place, because that shit is fucked up.
I'm trying to track these transitions, but I don't know. I don't know.
You want to start with A Quiet Place?
Dude, this movie looks kind of interesting. I'm curious. I actually think I want to see it. I mean, I love John Krasinski. You know, Office is one of my favorite shows, and I've never seen him in anything else. So that's kind of curious. I have a big question though. Like the people that like traveling to another settlement or something, and they have their kids with them. This kid has a toy airplane, and like that's cool. You know, your kid's got something to do, and this doesn't sound like a fun place. Like I don't think my childhood would have been very fun if I couldn't make any sound or interact with anything that made sound. But so they give him this airplane, and like if he presses one button on it, like makes a bunch of noise. And that's like gonna kill them. So that just seems like a really bad decision. Like either just take the batteries out, buy a toy, find a toy that doesn't make noise. Like it's just really risky if you're getting that to like a 5-year-old. You know, he doesn't really understand what's going on exactly.
They're like, well, just walk behind us while we go ahead, so that way you can do whatever the frick you want behind us.
Yeah, that kind of killed my excitement for the movie, to be honest. It really
because they're just like really stupid.
Yeah, because I thought for the first few trailers it was this cool horror of like, okay, cool, they can't make a sound, there's some sort of monster. But now I feel like throughout the movie there's going to be multiple stupid things where it's like, oh, why do we have this plane that can make noise? Like, why did we give the kid pot and pans? Like, that's my problem. Like, that to start it off that way, for me, is like, I get they were like, oh, this is going to be a big scare. But for me, I was like, no, like, that seems so stupid. It makes me not like any of these characters immediately because give them the plane, just take the batteries out. Like, I'm sure there's batteries you can take out of this fucking thing. Like, and I guess, yeah, okay, maybe he saw it on the road. But yeah, also, why are the kids just walking so far behind you in this world that it's not even like, oh, if you make a sound, the monsters might eventually find you. It's like the second, unless the trailer is misleading, but the second he makes a sound, according to this trailer, that monster's there in like T-minus 10 seconds.
He's there fast.
Yeah, and John Krasinski is also there fast.
They could have like, he had this plane and he's walking behind him and he fucking drops the plane. Okay, now it made noise. At least it's more realistic.
Oh, well, that's that. In the first trailer, kids, like, they're playing cards or something and he drops like a lantern and it like smashes. And that like makes sense, you know, that's something that I'm just curious how they're gonna deal with that. You know, obviously that's like causing suspense throughout the movie of like what's gonna cause noise in order for like the, you know, bad guys to show up.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see how much like thought really goes into that. Because that airplane thing, that kind of triggered me.
I also want to see when this movie gets close to release how long it is. Because if it's an hour and a half, I'd be like, okay, but if this is a 2-hour movie, I could feel it being really repetitive and not like. And I think we kind of know the ending. Like I think that birth scene's pretty much near the end. Like I don't think you can top that. And you know,
right?
Okay, I guess she's gonna give birth to this kid, but at the same time, they're gonna either I imagine the monster or whoever this monster is about to get them will get killed at that moment because there's no way you could be that quiet or even the baby. So something's gonna happen.
There's gonna be more than one. Like the one monster striking this one family.
I would
and
think
that's
so.
It.
Yeah,
So.
I would think so.
Yeah, they're probably all over the place.
Well,
This is like a post-apocalyptic world. So
that's how it's said.
I feel like this is one of those movies you watch at home just because it's going to be so quiet. To go sit in a theater and then you hear
might fall asleep because of how quiet it is.
Yeah, or people talking because even
people talk in that movie. They're gonna get offed by some monsters. So.
Better not go to our Black Panther theater. Better not be there because there's a lot of talking during that, which was all fine. But this movie,
a lot of hype.
Yeah, a lot of hype. You know what else has a lot of hype? Uncle Drew.
Oh.
So this is a movie that we did watch the first 20 seconds of the trailer, but then as we were skimming through, we watched the rest of it. Lots of good people in there.
There's a lot of big names.
Tiffany Haddish, who's big right now. Haddish. That guy who plays a friend in Get Out's in there. I won't see this movie. I'm not the biggest basketball fan. And it looks pretty outlandish. It looks like one of those
like a party, high energy.
Yeah.
It looks like the American Pie straight to
boys.
DVD ones back in the day. Where
If you like basketball.
Yeah.
If you like basketball.
And if you want to see Shaq and old age
What's
makeup.
that other one that Will Ferrell's in?
Old school?
No.
Yeah, which other one?
Oh, no, what is that called? What is that movie called?
Semi-pro.
Yeah.
Semi-pro, yeah.
There we go.
Semi-pro.
It doesn't work if you say semi-pro. It has to be semi-pro.
Yeah, it's semi-pro.
It just sounds weird if you say semi-pro.
Saturday.
Just
because...
Yeah, there you go.
Semi's not always, worse, but when you have pro after it, it just doesn't... It hurts my tongue.
I bet there's someone else out there saying semi-pro. But I guess isn't semi-pro
now they know not to do that.
That's...
Or no, that's not how you
would say like a semi-truck.
Okay.
But you
could say... you can't say a semi? I've heard people say semi.
You could, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'd say semi.
I don't think
and
anyone
that's
cares enough, really. If
Let us know on Pod Bay.
Okay,
Kyle Watts.
Travis, say thumb.
Thumb.
Okay. I met someone today that says sum, like S-U-M, like a sum.
Well, that's just wrong.
They have a list. No, don't they?
Well, I have a list.
That's the opposite. They have an opposite list.
Can only say S's.
That would be brutal.
Oh boy.
Considering that is one of the most common words in our language.
Travis says things weird. I thought I'd check with him.
I say things the right way,
Well, you say them a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your guys' thoughts on Uncle Drew?
Oh man, it doesn't really look like it's a movie for me. Unless Johnny Knoxville is in fact the old guy.
That was your suspicion. You want to
he looked like Johnny Knox from what is it called?
Old Grandpa or Dirty Grandpa?
I was about to say Old Grandpa, but it's called like Bad Grandpa.
Yeah,
because Old Grandpa doesn't really make a lot of sense. I feel like you're saying the same thing.
There could be someone that's a 30-year-old grandpa.
Sure, but I would say that 90% of people, actually almost 100% of people would assume that a grandpa's
32. If someone had a kid at 16, and then at 16 years later, and that kid at 16 has a kid.
Biologically it's possible, but most...
I think 28 actually. 14 is people.
There you go. So you have to be a 20-year-old grandpa out there right now.
I wouldn't go 20.
I said 28.
Okay, it was like, whoa.
20-year-old grandpa.
There can be, but if you hear grandpa, you think old guy. You think old.
Not anymore. Grandpa's the new 20.
This movie is changing up culture as we know it in North America.
Oh boy.
So I'm really excited for it in that regard. My boy Johnny Knoxville, breaking barriers. Like he started with Jackass.
He's not in this movie. For people that have not watched the straight Johnny Knoxville, you don't know
that he's not.
The way it starts,
he's not advertising him, but he could be like a cameo. Like, what if he comes up in his grandpa character and they have like an interaction?
What Dylan is referring to, a bunch of young guys are playing basketball, then this old guy gets in the court and he just beats them all, and he
starts dancing and
yeah,
he's dunking.
And it looks like a bad grandpa.
Tossing rocks, sinking rocks, things like that.
Bad grandpa, great movie. It is.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'll watch it on Netflix.
Yeah, you would. I don't know if I would.
Yeah, you would.
So what about it was intriguing to you? I'm curious.
It's just one of those movies that I feel like it would just have an entertaining feel to it.
Entertaining feel. It's not entertaining, but it feels kind of entertaining.
Well, it's not like I'm not gonna go in and be like, this is gonna be the best movie. But I'll go in and get a couple laughs out of it. It's kind of like The Raccoon with Sandy Wexler, and that's You know, I got that out of it.
That's a good,
Do you think it'll have any laugh that's as big as the Sounding Waves?
No,
no. That's
that
was top.
Okay. That should have been best scene.
I wanted it to happen. I tried. I vouched for it.
Scene was so good.
Well, check it out. Winners announced next week. Golden Geeks.
Golden Geek.
Yay. I think that's it for the trailers we watched.
I don't think I voted on those yet, actually.
Well, no one's voted.
We didn't talk about Gringo.
Gringo, yeah. So this is a movie that we paused because me and Dale both saw Joel Edgerton, and you know he's a big favorite here on the podcast. I will say this is the definition of a trickster movie. And you know what a trickster movie is?
What is a trickster movie?
A trickster movie is a movie that's kind of just alright, that has a lot of stars, but they just do the, you know, Charlize Theron, Daniel Herrera, like Fanny Newton, like they're just throwing out, instead of throwing out stories, just like boom, boom, like in the 2000s this was a really popular thing, and I think this movie is actually better than what the trailer is, but the trailer is not good. It's really like lame. It feels like a 2002.
It's pretty goofy. It did feel, it
felt early 2000s, but I might watch it because it had a good cast. Like
it does have a pretty good cast.
Yeah, you know.
I don't know. You know, Charlize Theron though, Atomic Blonde, like proved that she can't really carry a movie on her own.
You think she's the problem with that movie though?
No.
Just taking shots at her.
I just take
Joel
Edgerton, he can carry a movie.
Yeah, he can.
He's been known to do it before.
I don't know who that is, what he's from.
Oh.
I actually don't think you've seen probably.
It Comes at Night.
You saw The Gift, right?
I've seen The Gift,
He's
and I've
Gordo.
seen It Comes at Night.
He's
Well,
Gordo
he's
the
that
weirdo.
Oh, okay.
His
The
name's
guy
the
with
dad.
beard.
Yeah, he's always a beard.
He's a very good actor, very skilled actor.
The
Okay.
Gift.
What else is he in? Besides
Warrior.
Star Wars.
He was in the prequels. He played Uncle Owen.
You wouldn't.
No, he was in it for a scene. Warrior, Tom Hardy, that MMA movie where brothers fight each other.
He also directed The Gift, though, right?
He directed He's not directed anything else. I'm really disappointed.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna
I thought he was somewhere involved with It Comes at Night.
Maybe he produced it, but like I feel like The Gift, that's his first movie he directed. I feel like that's a solid first
Well,
movie.
did it do well, like box office?
Oh yeah, it did well. Like it was critically good.
Nice.
It was all that. So like I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, I want to see more movies.
He's one and done. He's just like that's it. I'm ending on a high note. Oh, he's working on a movie coming out next year called Boy Erased. Here we go.
Boy Erased as director?
The son of a Baptist preacher is forced to participate in a church-supported gay conversion program. Man, this is a deep fucking movie.
Wow. That's not what I was expecting.
No, but
Yeah,
it is.
And
He's
directing.
He's directing and starring. Lucas Hedges, who's a fucking phenomenal
Lucas
actor.
Hedges.
Nicole Kidman, Russell Crowe, and him, and then a bunch of other people I don't know. But that's
That sounds interesting.
look out for that in 2018. That sounds
Most
pretty
anticipated.
serious.
That's this year?
20. Are we in 2018?
Yes, we are in 2018.
Oh fuck, we are. That's in September.
This year.
Yeah. Oh wait, that's a long way away. September though.
It's a while away, but like for a movie that we just heard about now, for the first time ever, that's like not that far away.
That's pretty good. It's based off a book, so if people want to go watch Boy Race, yeah, that sounds like that's gonna be some really heavy stuff. But good for him.
You know, here on GeekVerse, we like it heavy. So.
You know, it's not heavy. The amount of songs that's gonna be in Lion King, because they announced there's only 4 of the OG songs. But Jessica, so you
How many songs is there in the original?
more than 4.
I have not seen that movie in actually like an incredibly long time.
A good minute.
Like it's been a swell minute.
To put this in perspective, I know they're doing "Can't Wait to Be King."
That's a classic.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah. Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
Yeah.
Hakuna Matata.
Of course, that's a classic.
And the intro one, I think, is
Ah,
the other.
that one?
Yeah.
Ah, Sawenia.
So Jessica, you put
Yeah.
Oh no, Circle of Life. That's what it's
We
called.
should do. Whoa.
Oh no!
We should
Yeah,
do an
that-
acapella
That's the
GeekVerse.
intro, isn't it?
4,
It's
5,
the
6, 7,
circle
8, 9,
of life,
11.
and it moves us all.
You're gonna get us copyrighted because you're giving every.
It
note
doesn't
for-
matter. Yesterday we got all our monetization taken away. I got the sad email. You are no longer a monetized
Yes.
channel. So yeah.
Really?
Well,
We are
because
poor.
if you don't have 1,000 subscribers,
We're back on the
anymore,
streets.
You know. So now we're stuck at our total amount. So there's 11. Well, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 10 because they put the Circle of Life. Well, they put the Circle of Life twice because they sang 2 different versions. So there's 10 songs. They're using 4. I think people are kind
Are
of...
they like? Are the new songs versions of the old songs?
There will be, and then there's going to be new music done by Elton John and Queen Bee Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds cool.
It does, but the big thing is Be Prepared, which is like the big villain song. It's a big set piece. I'm not sure if you know this. It's like Scar, he's sitting with all the hyenas. He's being really evil. It's like it's maybe one of the best moments.
Montage?
Yeah, it's being maybe one of the best moments of the movie. Will not be in this movie, and I worry
But
that.
don't you want this to be like something different, something new, a little bit?
But not enough to take that out. That's one of the
There's some things that you feel like that's an essential.
Well, because my worry is now without that song, I get the feeling that Scar is gonna not be as prevalent as he was in the Lion.
And that's not what you want.
No.
Who's
One of my favorite.
Chiwetel Ejiofor. He played Baron Mordo in.
Is he a singer? Like, is there a chance he'll make a different villain song?
I don't know if he's a singer, but I bet there's a chance they do a different villain song. But I can look.
Like, I don't want Beyonce to sing the villain song, but.
Can I?
Beyonce's
how are you gonna
Is Beyonce doing a voice in this movie? Or
she's Nala. She's the love interest.
Yeah.
Nala.
I'm trying my best to spell Chiwetel Ejiofor, but it got it enough to correct it. Chiwetel Ejiofor. Does he sing? Here we go.
Does he sing?
Yeah, this is what
everyone can sing somewhat.
This podcast not prepared. Blah blah blah. He was in a musical.
Kinky Boots.
Kinky Boots in 2005.
He was in a music video called Kinky Boots.
A music.
Click on the videos. See.
The video movie clip.
Oh yeah, there's another one.
He made. Oh, he was a woman in this movie.
Oh.
Yeah, so he can sing.
Was he a woman at that point in his life?
No, I mean,
it's a genuine question.
I think he's playing like a drag queen sort of deal.
Kinky Boots, that would make sense.
Yeah, and of course YouTube is running an ad that is not a skippable ad. It's we're not. Well, we'll see if we can. We don't need to worry about being monetized, so that's good. Oh, there he is.
What is this the?
This is him singing.
Yeah.
Is that Joel Edgerton?
What?
Okay, so he can sing. Yeah. So
that was him singing there.
That was Chiwetel Ejiofor, who's playing. Joel Edgerton is in the Kinky Boots movie.
We got a retro root.
Yeah.
In preparation for Lion King, we got Kinky Boots.
We do a Disney retro and then just throw in Kinky Boots.
We should do a Joel Edgerton retro.
Oh God, that's a lot. Look, he's been acting since 1995. His first movie or first TV show, Police Arrest.
1995. That was a good year.
He played Andy.
I was birthed into this planet on that day.
That day.
What do you think about this, Jessica? You're the biggest Lion King fan out of all of us.
Of all time, some would say.
Some might say that.
Mm-hmm.
I really actually like Be Prepared. It is one of the better songs.
Mm-hmm.
And it is one of those times where all of a sudden you see just like how messed up Scar is.
Yeah.
So I think that they definitely need to replace it with something. They can't just take it out altogether and expect things to go smoothly.
But do you think it's gonna go good like with Beauty and the Beast? People weren't really a fan of the new songs. Like the Beast song, people did not have a good time with. So
I didn't like any of the songs that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's a tough thing. So if I put it to you this way, those
nostalgia is a powerful drug.
Yeah, it is. Look at Ready Player One now. If you look at The Lion King, the 4 songs in there, and Be Prepared's in there, and they say you have to remove one, is that the one you remove though, or is there another one out of those 4 that haven't been removed that you would?
I take out Circle of Life.
Wow, the opening of the movie. So you don't want the movie to open with like that? Like
I'm okay with them opening with something else because I don't feel like that defines the whole movie.
Okay.
It's not like a critical plot point. Like, Can You Feel the Love Tonight and Hakuna Matata are both, like, they're part of the whole storyline, but that is just kind of the opening scene. Yeah. So.
Make a new intro.
What about you? What would you remove?
You're probably right. I think there's a point where I could remove Can You Feel the Love Tonight and just make it like a chime like they did with the Bare Necessities and Jungle Book, where they just kind of hummed and had like a little fun with it. Because Can You Feel the Love Tonight, the song goes by pretty quickly. I don't know if I need to see CGI animals rolling around trying to make love, you know, like it's fine, but like I'm more into like the man. Woman love.
Well, I mean, you could do a new song too with that one with Beyonce.
You got Beyonce for that.
Yeah.
She's writes. Well, I don't know how much she writes.
We don't have Just Can't Wait to Be King in there either, do we?
Yeah, I think that's one of the 4. Circle of Life, the Hakuna Matata, Love, and then I think that's Can't Be King. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
So there you go. Spyro's getting remastered.
Spyro.
Yeah. I'm really excited about that.
It's official at this point in time. Right?
Is it actually? I don't think it's official yet. I think it's just.
I think it's highly rumored.
I think it.
Yeah, I think highly rumored. I think there's rumors that it's highly rumored. I think it's highly rumored.
There's rumors that it's highly rumored.
That's what my sources tell me. I'm excited. I like the Crash one. If they give as much attention to detail as they did there, this will be a day one purchase for me. I love Spyro. They better not change the voice. Keep Elijah Wood in there, you know. So
Elijah Wood.
He does Spyro.
In the original games?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
They looked at that and they're like, that's our Frodo.
They really should bring him back.
Well, if it's remastered, hopefully. Well, if they do, hopefully bring them.
Because they'll probably have new audio fully, right? In Crash, did they have the same sound effects? Or did
Crash, they had different voices, but it was still the same stuff.
Kept
I
all
believe.
The same,
the same dialogue.
I want to borrow that from you.
I know. We keep saying that. Oh, did you remind her about that Sonic game?
I did.
Did you bring it?
It's sitting right there.
Yes.
Sonic.
Nice. Check out for the GeekVerse Scotland.
According to Kotaku. Yeah, apparently it is official.
Okay, well that's good.
Releasing Q3 2018.
Okay, so what is that? That's after around like E3-ish time, right? Because Q4 is fall, right?
Yeah.
So.
They're saying that'll be. Sorry, that's the announced time, and it'll be launching in September.
So see, it's not official.
September, isn't that when Spidey comes out? Yeah.
Oh no.
It's a big month.
I'm really not looking forward if Spyro, Spidey, and Red Dead all come out in September. I'm not a happy camper.
Yeah, actually me neither, because something's getting the boot.
Apparently Crash Bandicoot's coming to Xbox, or is it 1 year?
It's been talking like.
Apparently they're considering putting Spyro on like the Switch as well. I saw.
Wow.
Really? Wow.
Well, this is
actually, I don't know. I shouldn't say that because that's what the guy at EB Games said to me.
Oh
no! He could be bullshitting. He seemed like a genuine guy.
He doesn't have a podcast. You don't know. Yeah, I think after a year they might put it on Crash on Xbox and the Switch. They never officially said, but because whenever they said it was coming back, they never, I think, fully said PlayStation exclusive. So
this says apparently that Crash Bandicoot is tied to a similar 1 year exclusivity window.
Yeah.
So
I guess they
must
feel confident then if they're, risking like a big exclusive like that just to. They think they'll get more sales from.
They don't own Crash.
What about Spyro?
I don't think so. I think it's something like Activision owns them and they made some sort of deal. So I think
that makes sense.
Trust me, if they had the rights to Crash and Spyro, I don't think they'd be selling them to Xbox.
Yeah.
I think like Xbox may do that with Minecraft, but the exclusives are all they got.
Exclusives are.
They do. That's what you gotta do.
No, that's a loaded September for sure.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen. I don't want.
Spidey is my number one, so I think because I didn't get Crash. I did play Crash back in the day, but I was always more a fan of Spyro. So would probably get the Spyro remaster.
Yeah.
But not if it's in the same month as Spidey.
Yeah.
I'll get it maybe eventually, but Spidey is definitely giving it the big boot. What's that?
I got all the OG Spyro still. PlayStation 1.
Yeah, but this is gonna be nice.
But this
crisp graphics.
Yeah.
Crisp.
4K.
I can't look at old games anymore.
Oh wow. Okay.
I don't know what I'm saying.
That's legitimately it for the news that I had.
What about video game? Or no, wait.
That was a video game.
Oh, yeah.
That was a video game news.
You're right. Have you invested any time in Full Metal Alchemist, Netflix original?
I just saw that it was on there today.
Okay. It's been on there for
Is it a TV or a movie?
It's a movie. Just over 2 hours.
Over 2 hours?
No.
How
I
is
didn't
it?
even know it was on there.
I've
not looked at Netflix in a while, so.
It is better than Death Note.
Is it live action this movie?
That's not...
Okay.
Disclaimer, that's not a hard
Suicide
tag.
Squad.
The GeekVerse movie is better than
Suicide Squad is better than Death Note,
Yeah, the main character, his wig is like terrible, and the second main character is completely CGI.
His wig's terrible. That's not good.
Yes, it's hard to look at him the whole time. It's super compressed. Like they are trying to do a whole series.
Oh, that route.
Well, Full Metal Alchemist had a lot. It was a lot because Death Note really only has the one season, right? Like the original
It's
show.
just kind of the one arc, yeah.
Yeah, whereas Full Metal, are they delving into like multiple seasons worth of stuff? Because that show was on for a while.
Yeah, I'm only an hour in because I just
half of you.
But it's already gone through like tons. Like it's only like 5 minutes, which was an entire episode. 5 minutes was an entire episode kind of thing. So it's moving super quick.
Yeah, I don't know why maybe they should make a TV show instead. It's more expensive, obviously.
Yeah.
Netflix loves.
Netflix is making a lot of shit. How do they do it, man?
Like, what do you mean? Like making a lot of stuff or making a lot of shit? Like,
they're just spewing out a lot. Some of it's not good, but they're just like putting a lot of content out there. Like every day I go on there, there's like new TV shows and specials and movies.
Remember when like just one thing on Netflix dropped and was this big thing, and now it's like there's so
early days of Netflix.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows on Netflix I want to watch, but I don't have time. It's tough.
Having a kid is hard.
Yeah.
And by the time you don't have time to watch those shows, there's gonna be new shows that you can't watch.
Oh yeah.
So it never ends. It truly never ends.
There was Something else recently that I think I watched. Oh yeah, Baywatch is on there now too.
Oh, I watched Baywatch.
You've watched Baywatch?
Oh, I said have you.
No.
Oh, don't watch it. It's
Don't watch it?
Did you see it in theaters?
No. God, no.
Yeah.
I rented it.
And Ghost in the Shell.
From Blockbuster.
Ghost in the Shell, I legitimately want to watch just because I've heard so much negativity. I think that's like a editing gauntlet.
That's like a background.
Yeah. Like the Netflix is still great for that. Like when I had a gauntlet, that's the perfect thing. But yeah,
it's on there, and The Visit, the one with the grandma, like, can you get in the oven and clean it?
Oh, is that on there?
Yeah.
I want to watch that scene.
And the other thing
that one scene.
This just turned to the Netflix podcast. The other thing that's on there for people, because I want to rewatch it. I don't know, for Canada at least, the OG Cloverfield's on there.
Yeah.
I did see that. Yeah.
And I want to watch it because I haven't watched it in so long. But like, I keep watching these Cloverfield movies. I've seen this movie like once. I need to watch this.
This is what started it all.
It's like I'm probably gonna watch Cloverfield. Like, man, I didn't actually really like this movie that much because the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, I like it enough, but I'm not a big shaky cam fan. So that's why for me, it's like I remember being like, oh yeah, this is interesting. It's not a Godzilla movie.
I never even really watched it with full integrity. Like,
you told the story.
I told the story, so I won't tell it again. But
you can tell if you want because we talked about that like really early on.
Okay, well, quickly then what happened was when I was watching this movie, I was watching it like pay-per-view or something, and I was recording at the same time, which is like actually illegal, I guess, because you just rented this movie, but if you record it, then anyway. So what they do when you do that is they make the quality really shit. It goes like in and out, like the brightness will like significantly flare up, and then like it'll go so you can't like see anything pretty much. And I didn't know that was a thing that they do if you try to record movies. So I watched this whole movie thinking that it was like, obviously this movie is pretty artsy. It's told from like a certain perspective. So I was just thinking that was kind of what they were going for. And I was like, oh, this is weird. I like it. Good stuff, guys. Cool. Really revolutionary.
I would love
so I really don't have like much memory because I couldn't really see half the movie. It was like fully black.
And you watched the full movie like that?
I don't remember, dude. That was so long ago.
See, there you go. Watch it on Netflix.
Oh yeah, it'll probably be a completely different experience than just like this weird green and black blurb that's in my mind of what was Cloverfield.
Yeah. Anything else to talk about? There isn't much.
You know what I watched last night, actually? Another nostalgia pick that didn't really stand up when I watched it again is Limitless. You know Limitless? Bradley Cooper movie?
I watched it once, but I think that movie would not hold up if I watched
that movie, because I love that movie back in the day. When I had the DVD, I was like so into this movie. I watched it last night, I just wanted something chill to put on as I was, pretty tired. And yeah, that movie really does not hold up.
It's on Netflix right now too.
That's where I watched it.
I figured, I was gonna, but I thought about that too, and it didn't hold up the greatest. But I
really regret watching it actually because I had such a fond memory of it in my mind.
Did you ever watch the TV show?
No.
I didn't even know
TV show, and Bradley Cooper was in it, like cameos with the main character. Like, this is like he's the new guy. Like this is you can use him, blah blah. But I'm not surprised by that.
No, like the thing that surprised me most is like it really feels like pretty disjointed, like he's like a writer, and that's
with this awful wig,
with a really it's quite the wig,
the homeless man wig.
And I was kind of excited to like get into that storyline and see him become a great writer again. But then he's like, I don't want to do this anymore.
I'm gonna take over the world.
I'm gonna take over the stock market, and then he starts doing that. But like it moves so fast, the pacing is insane. Like there's like entire storylines that happen in like 1 minute that you would think should take place over like the course of the entire movie.
That's the point. He's limitless. So is the script.
Oh, 10 Cloverfield Lane's on there too. Could just.
Oh, there, Cloverfield Marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Do it.
That movie's also really shot really weird.
Yeah,
well, it's supposed to be. It's by director Neil Berger. I don't know what else he's done, but there's like 3 or 4 segments, maybe 2, but there might actually be 3, where he starts zooming in, like it's just like driving down the street, and it just like keeps zooming in, and it's like a kaleidoscope sort of effect, where it like keeps just kind of, your vision just keeps going. It's like. It's cool to simulate going down, like driving down the street or walking down the street, but it lasts for like an entire minute, I feel like.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really just occur once, like it happens more than once. There's one time where he's driving down the street, and there's one time when he's walking down the street, and it's the same thing, and it kind of fucks with your mind a little bit, to be honest.
He's recently been doing the Divergent series. He did Illusionist, lots of people like that movie. He did the Lucky Ones.
I wonder if his movies continue to have a very distinct, camera angles and such. It was kind of jarring, honestly.
I think they probably have that to a smaller effect, but because this one's supposed to be him on the drug. But you could go watch Divergent and Get Back to Me.
Get Back to Me.
Divergent wasn't too bad. I don't remember any kaleidoscope scenes.
But
maybe it's like one.
I think he out kaleidoscoped himself in that one movie.
They're like, yeah, you can't do that if you make this movie.
He was like, what am I doing? He watches it back and he's like, just mind blowing.
Or it could be like Saw with the cuts, where all of a sudden he just makes it even more. He's like, oh, that was funny for outline time.
Oh God.
That was a good idea. Let's keep doing it more and more. Films an entire movie where it's just like in motion kaleidoscope effect. Wow.
Have you seen Jigsaw yet?
I started it.
It's on Netflix as well.
Is it?
Jigsaw?
Yeah.
No.
Isn't it?
No, I don't think so.
And it's on Plex, so I was on it. My bad. I saw it on a service that I watch movies on. I thought it was Netflix, but
Blockbuster.
It was on Blockbuster on demand.
Yep. Any other thing, folks?
It is not.
No, I didn't think so. Dylan's
You got my hopes up for a second.
I'm so sorry.
Lying to the viewers.
Am I really getting your hopes up? Like, you don't...
You know what? Because I told
You've already seen it. Didn't you see it?
No, I didn't go with you guys.
I know you didn't go to it. I thought you saw it later.
No, I started it and the quality was not very good because I watched it.
Blockbuster on demand, dude. It's so sketchy. They need to pick up their service. They're gonna go into business if they keep going like this. Blockbuster on demand. I guess the other thing I have to say is I just finished Dark Souls 3. I just finished the last DLC today. So now I've now completed all the bosses, and I mean I didn't 100% or anything, but I just wanted to beat all the bosses before I could feel like I could move on.
Yeah.
And it was a very satisfying game. It was probably like I haven't really I've been finding it hard to really get into video games lately. Like most games I just play for like a bit and then I'm like, not super into this. But the last game that really had me as gripped as this was probably Horizon Dawn. So it's been a while, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. I kind of knew I would because I just like what the Dark Souls games do.
Yeah.
In terms of switching it up in the genre, but Dark Souls 3 really solid. And now that I've done that, Shadow of the Colossus is next. Nice. I'm excited to finally play that game because I never played it back in the day. So
nice.
I recently got Goat Simulator with all 4 DLCs.
There's 4 DLCs.
There's 4. Yeah, there's a MMO one where you can play as the class Microwave.
Oh.
There is a space one, but it's kind of Star Wars themed. You can run around and fly spaceships and.
That game looks pretty wild.
It's amazing. There's one that's like Saints Row, so it's just like you can play as a dolphin mobster in a wheelchair.
That's pretty unique.
Yeah.
That's coming from the game that is Goat Simulator, where you're like this omnipresent goat. So.
All I'm saying.
It's really not that surprising for a DLC, I guess.
It's good.
You're enjoying it.
Yeah, it was on Xbox Marketplace for $30 for the game and all 4 DLC. So.
I don't know if that's a good value, but I'll trust that it is.
Mm-hmm. You know what you can trust in? The GeekVerse.
That was the most you sound lifeless at this point.
Oh yeah, this podcast coming down to a whimper,
I think it was fun.
No, it was a good one. We put together, we pulled our socks up. We're all very busy. We're working, school, stuff's going on. People are coming to
Dark Souls 3.
They're canceling.
Pokemon Community Day is coming up. Throw out that news because Taylor Day is not here.
Is that like a global thing or is that not like Kelowna only?
No, it's Pokemon.
I'm so excited for thousands of mentions in the GeekVerse group. The crew chat on Facebook. I can't wait.
About Pokemon? Me and Taylor?
I don't know why you guys haven't. You guys do know you can speak like just by yourself on Facebook. We don't have to be included.
But typically you're gonna. I find for myself at least usually the GeekVerse chat is just open in general. Yeah. So if I want to drop something real quick, I'll just throw it in there.
You and Taylor do it too, though.
Sometimes people play it, sometimes they don't. And
you know what? There's been times where I've messaged Taylor on his own personal one.
It's tricky.
And he just doesn't.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I mean. I have like a perspective of who Taylor is, when I see him. But I'm curious what the guy is when I'm not looking at him. He's not in the room. So it's completely different. Yeah. I don't even know if he's human, right? That's the thing. We don't actually know if he's human. We podcast with him every day.
We don't. Yeah. It's not every day because he's not here right now.
Yeah.
No. And we don't podcast
what's he
every
doing?
single day.
He could be doing non-human stuff.
He's probably
getting a face mask.
Probably getting a face mask.
Yeah. Well, who wants to play the roles? Taylor, tell fans where they want us, and then
where they want us. First of all.
Yeah. Make sure you go to Podbay.
Honestly, if you do like our podcast and you're in the United States,
yeah, we don't have it.
You could go on Podbay. Honestly, I don't even think it's worth it at this point. Like, our score is so bad that I don't think we'll ever be have more positive than negative reviews. But if you do,
we're not lowest.
If you do think we deserve,
we're 2-star, not 1-star. So we
look at all those 1 stars.
It's a lot of 1 stars. It averages out to a solid 2. So even if you go in there and you drop a 5,
because we had,
we got no 3s. You could be original.
Throwing pennies into a well at this point, but
yeah,
I would still appreciate it. I just a nice
give us
comment.
a like on YouTube. Get us close to that 1,000.
Yeah, get us to 1,000 likes, subscribe, review. If you want to really help us out, head over to Patreon. You get a lot of stuff early. You get gauntlet matches early. You get Marvel Retros early. Next episode, I think they'll be coming out maybe this weekend or next week, is Avengers, the big one. We did that. Big gauntlet match dropped last week. It's Kyle versus myself. He's lying. He got a root canal. He's just scared to show his face. But it's title versus career. It is quite a good one. Next week
it is actually a really fun match to watch.
Next week will be the Golden Geeks. I think we're gonna do that with a newscast. So what we'll do is we'll do news. We'll announce the winners. But I think we're gonna change up this year because I felt we did the Golden Geeks winner. It was just like a 12-minute video. I think we'll sit around. I'll announce the winners, and maybe we'll talk about the actual winners and maybe who voted what. Yeah, because we just kind of dropped our votes, and then we've had the video up, and it's like, oh, that's who won. But we'll have like a post show about our own awards and say like why we voted.
Because we have the biggest ego in the podcast.
Yeah, because we also didn't do a best of. It's tricky. We also didn't do a best of 2017 because you don't want to show your hand before we do the Golden Geeks, right? Like that's a tough thing. If we say this was my movie of the year, it's like, well, we know what he's voting for, so we could kind of. I think that's what it's going to be. Next week's going to be the final close on 2017. It's our Oscars. The Oscars are next Sunday. You don't need to watch those. Call Me By Your Name, no Logan. Nothing's going on this year. Watch Golden Geeks. So, until then.
Check us out on Facebook.
Yes.
Twitter.
The
whole shebang.
Our website is a good place to go to.
Right.
Well,
podcast.com.
Not totally, because Taylor is not updating it as often
anymore. He's supposed to update the gauntlet then 3 weeks ago. He's like,
but you can still go there and find links to everywhere else.
You know what? Our pictures are from like the very first week of this podcast when he put that up in our description.
Have you seen Ruben's? Ruben's picture is not the greatest. He just oh yeah, hang on, I'll find it quickly.
And Taylor loves making
pictures of Ruben.
Well, here's a quick inside scoop for those who are not in the group chat. Taylor frequently drops Bionicle themed just pictures, not for anything in particular, just because he likes to make pictures. So a lot of Bionicle themed ones, which I think he.
Look at this picture of Ruben. He just found it somewhere and just photoshopped.
That's an old picture of Ruben.
Yeah, you can tell he's not here's Ruben. His Geeks Creed Rod or not. There's Rod out. When's St. Patrick's Day?
When is it?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay, they have a St. Patrick's Day Raw or not, so I shouted that out, but
Oh, that's in March, if that's what you're asking.
Well, we'll be March. Us, we'll be around, and it won't be boring.
Okay, bye.
Thanks for listening. Have a good day.
Night.
Tomorrow.
I love you.